When I go back to reinstall it, I know which orientation it needs to go back on. Welcome back to Garage Matters. We've got the lawnmower flipped on its side. We're gonna go ahead and swap out this blade and go ahead and swap out the spark plug. So come on over here, let me show you how it's done. Now before we go to this parts list right here, let's go ahead and prep this lawnmower. Let's move around to the front of the lawnmower. Up in the front, we're just gonna go ahead and disconnect this spark plug wire. And while I've got this spark plug wire disconnected, I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the spark plug and swap out the spark plug. That's not really required, but you always want to remove this boot. That way, when you're removing the blade down here, it doesn't inadvertently start the engine. Now let's move over to the fuel tank. Now this gas cap, some people, they like using a plastic bag to sandwich in between this filler valve and this gas cap and then screw it on. And the reason why they do that is that way when you flip this lawnmower to the side, the fuel that's inside of here, it's not gonna spill out, but I know I'm not gonna spill any fuel, so I'm not gonna use that plastic bag, but you're more than welcome to. Now here's the parts that we're gonna be using. We've got our new spark plug right here. We've got a brand new blade right here. Now to take off this blade, you can either use a breaker bar, a ratchet, or an impact wrench. I'm gonna use this impact wrench because it's gonna make work a whole lot easier. And then you're gonna need a 16 millimeter for this lawnmower right here. And then we also have a paint marker right here. So this paint marker, not really necessary, but I'm just gonna mark the bottom of the blade. So when I go back to install this new blade, I'll know the proper orientation that this blade needs to be reinstalled. Now let's take a closer look at these two spark plugs. This spark plug is the original spark plug that came out of this lawnmower. Now if you're having issues trying to find this specific spark plug, part number 1413211, then it's alright. You can use this other one. This other spark plug right here is a suitable supplement. Now let's take a closer look at these tips right here. Now the one on the right, on the tip of it, you can tell that it has all that carbon buildup, and that carbon buildup is gonna interfere with the spark. The one on the left, that's the brand new one. It's nice and clean, and that's the one we're gonna use to install back on this lawnmower. And now it's time to go ahead and unwrap this brand new blade. And now it's time for our paint marker. The reason why I want to use this paint marker is to mark the orientation of this blade. So when I go back to reinstall it, I know which orientation it needs to go back on. Now I've also pulled out my C-clamp and I clamped it onto the lawnmower. The reason why is because if you happen to be using a wrench or a breaker bar right here, you want to utilize some kind of method to keep this blade from spinning when you're unbolting this bolt down here. So this is just for demonstration purposes, and I'm not going to really use this because I'll be using this impact wrench. And I really love using these impact wrenches on my cars and anything else that I can work on in my garage. So let's go ahead and move this blade like that. And then I'll show you that you really don't need this if you're using an impact wrench. It'll come down here, and this is a 16 millimeter bolt. All right, and then it looks like the blade is coming off. So we're just gonna flip this upside down like this and remove the blade and go compare it with the brand new blade that we just unpackaged. In here we have these two blades like this. So I laid it on top of my cooler like this, and you can kind of tell like they're oriented properly, but I'm just gonna go ahead and mark this one as well too, so there's no way I can mess this up when I go back to reinstall it. Alright, so that side is gonna be facing down as well. So we'll take a look at the blades right here, the edges. So let me kind of zoom in. So this is the old one right here. If you look at it really carefully, you can tell that it's all chipped up here and there. And then we'll take a look at the brand new blade. So the brand new blade is nice and dull as well. So what I didn't realize was that these blades, even though they're brand new, they don't come sharpened. So if you want to sharpen them, you're gonna have to pull out your grinder and just grind them down to get them sharpened. But that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get this brand new blade reinstalled. Now it's a good thing we marked these parts right here because I already forgot the orientation. But luckily, I know that since I marked it, everything that's marked yellow is going to be facing down towards the ground. So let's go ahead and get this installed. We're just going to take our new blade right here, set it right on top of here. And then we're just going to lift this entire assembly, put it onto the shaft right here, tighten her down. Let's go ahead and get this blade installed. I like going hand tight first. That way I don't mess up any of the threads. So once it's hand tight like that and it's started, go ahead and bring in the impact wrench. Make sure it's in the tightening motion and then just tighten it down. That should do it. And now it's time to go ahead and reinstall this brand new spark plug. I'm just gonna do the same thing. Slowly thread it in by hand. That way these threads aren't cross-threaded or anything like that. And then once she's snug and tight, I'm just gonna come back around with the wrench and just snug it down. So for this, I'm not gonna use any power tools. I'm just gonna use hand tools because it doesn't really need to be in there that tight. And it should be okay. So we'll go ahead and bring in this wrench right here to tighten it down. It's a 16 millimeter. All right, okay. All right, that is good. Then we'll just go ahead and bring this boot back down and reattach it. All right, now last thing we need to do is just pull out this lawnmower out into the backyard and do a couple passes with it. Now with this yard cut again, I can definitely say that swapping out the spark plug and the lawnmower blade definitely helped out. And hopefully that helped you guys out when it comes to springtime maintenance, when it comes to your lawnmower. Remember, join us next time on Garage Matters and hit that like and subscribe button.